I've kind of looked at it like, you know what? The fear isn't going anywhere, but I have to get certain things done in my life. So either you're gonna come and be in the back seat or stay behind, but regardless, this car is moving, is the way that I've been looking at it. So here's my story, and honestly, why I decided to make fear my friend. Last year, I was interviewing with a mental health startup company, and I was very excited about the role. I thought it would be a great fit working with teens on various topics from ADHD all the way to anxiety, depression, so many different topics. I would be working with teens and their families. Essentially, I got down to the third interview, and the director said, "Give us 2 weeks. We're going on a hiring freeze, but things will be open back up in 2 weeks." They reached back out after 2 weeks. "Give us another 2 months and we will be following up with you." While I'm waiting for them to get back with me, I felt God saying, "Go ahead, you can do this on your own. Go ahead and do it on your own." I was petrified, I was nervous, and I took a while. I procrastinated, I put it off, and it kept coming up for me. So I said, you know what? I must be called to do it. I must be called to do this. So I sat down, I figured out how to do it, I figured out what it could look like. I started to build out the website. Now things are up, the website is built, and to be honest, I'm still walking through fear. Every time I sit down to do it, it's still kind of like some limiting beliefs that come up that I have to shoot down. And the reality is, if I would have never started, I wouldn't be at a place now able to work with teens and their families and build out courses for them and really support them with their mental health. And what ended up happening was tech companies went on this huge layoff spree. So the company I was interviewing for was technically a tech company, and they laid off 50% of their workers. So hiring me wasn't even in the equation anymore. And now that I'm building up my clients, I'm very excited, and it feels like a blessing to be able to work with these families. But I would have never started doing this if I wouldn't have stepped over the fear. One thing that has been helpful for me lately is thinking more about the why. So I remember one night talking to Christian, and I was just like, you know what? I'm scared. I don't want to do it. It just feels uncomfortable. And he said, you know what? There could be someone praying right now for the services that you are able to offer them and their family. And I was like, I gotta do it. Something just switched, and I was like, I have to do it. My why is so much deeper than me. My why is trying to support and help people. I know there's so many teens out there and young people who need mental health support in this very moment. So I know that my services are needed and necessary. And like Christian said, there could be someone out there praying for the thing that I'm called to do. And God is like, you know what? I'm about to send your answer. I'm about to send your answer. And he's literally waiting on me to act. Another concept that comes to mind for me is just the importance of planting the seed and sowing in order for us to see a harvest. I think sometimes naturally we want to see a harvest and we want to see it quickly. But I'm in a season of recognizing that you really have to sow in order for the harvest to come. It makes me think about gardening. So when we garden every year, we plant seeds around mid-March. And sometimes I'm like, are my seeds ever are they really gonna come up? Are they gonna grow? And it's so beautiful to see it actually growing in the summertime. So maybe midsummer, sometime around June, we have a really big harvest, and it's so beautiful to see. But that would have never happened if we didn't plant the seeds before. So that's how I've been trying to apply this to my life. You know what? I gotta sow. I gotta sow. I gotta sow. I gotta plant the seeds in order for the harvest to come. So that's me breaking my goals down into small goals that I can do every single day. That's me being intentional about really putting the work in this season and not just assuming that a harvest is going to come on its own. So that has been something I've really been working towards, thinking about what are my bigger goals for the year and how can I break them down into smaller goals each and every month to make sure that I'm definitely sowing the seeds so that way I can see the harvest. Another concept that has helped me a lot is connecting with others who are in similar spaces. So I have a friend who's starting her business as well, knowing that like I'm not in this alone. Like there's someone else out here doing it. It's not as scary as I imagined that it would be. This is where they are on their journey. I can share where I am. I can share the things that I'm confused about and trying to figure out. They can share their confusions with me, and we can like kind of navigate and brainstorm with each other. So really just having someone else that's like, girl, like you're going through this too, like this is how I'm feeling. Having someone else to talk to and connect with has been very helpful for me on this journey. So I feel like regardless of what we're going through, there may be some type of community that we can tap into that can help us and help us navigate through that season that we're in. Another thing is getting more comfortable stepping out of my comfort zone and going from that comfort zone to the zone where I feel a little bit more stretched. And that hasn't truly felt fun, but I see the benefits. Like I'm starting to see like, okay, Ashley, the more that you push yourself out of your comfort zone, there's so much more growth that happens in your life and within you. And it's a beautiful thing to see. It's an uncomfortable season to be in, but I feel like for any of us to do the things that we are called to do, we cannot just sit in this comfortable, safe place, because we're gonna look up and be like, dang, I didn't accomplish this, or I wanted to do this. And time is gonna pass and time is gonna go by. So that's kind of the way that I try to lean into it. You know what? I gotta keep pushing through. Like I know my comfort zone and my brain is saying that's not safe, but I have to recognize and figure out strategies to keep going and pushing so I can accomplish these goals. So if fear is something that you deal with, I'm here. Like I understand. I'm with you, and I just hope that you're able to find a way to accept the fears there, make it your friend and say, you know what, you're not that friend I'm listening to, taking advice from, but since you're gonna be here, sit in the back seat, but this car is still moving. My next video is gonna be about how I've been stepping out of my comfort zone and what that has looked like for me. So stick around if you wanna see that. All right, so if this blessed you in any way, definitely share it with a friend, because we all need to step into that thing that we are called to do. I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.